Kuala Lumpur is more than Malaysia's capital. It's a city built by dynasties whose fortunes shaped its skyline, economy, and global influence. From the Khoo family's quiet financial power to the Yeoh and Chan families who transformed land into booming real estate, these names turned ambition into generational wealth. The Yeohs of YTL expanded far beyond construction, while the Tans of Berjaya built a diversified empire that touches everyday life. Banking powerhouses like the Lees, Teh and Queks created institutions that fueled Malaysia's growth, cementing their families as pillars of influence. And at the very top, the legendary Kuok family, known as the Sugar Kings, stand as Asia's icons of wealth. This is the story of the top 10 richest old money families in Kuala Lumpur. In the number 10 position, we have the Khoo family, a name that quietly shaped Kuala Lumpur's financial landscape for decades. Their wealth story began with banking and smart investments, growing from local ventures into significant stakes across Malaysia's economy. What sets the Khoo family apart is not just their money, but their strategy, always staying one step ahead, diversifying into property, hospitality, and investments that stood the test of time. They're the kind of dynasty that doesn't make noise, but leaves a permanent mark on the city's skyline and business community. For many, the Khoos represent old money at its finest, quiet, calculated, and enduring. But while their fortune is impressive, the families ahead took their influence even further, building empires that shaped industries, redefined lifestyles, and placed Kuala Lumpur among the wealthiest cities in Asia. And the next dynasty on our list takes that story to an entirely new level. In the number 9 position, we have the Yeoh family, a dynasty that turned bricks and mortar into a fortune-shaping Kuala Lumpur's skyline. Their wealth was built on property development and hospitality, two industries that grew alongside the city itself. From high-rise buildings to luxury hotels, the Yeoh family created landmarks that not only defined how Kuala Lumpur looks, but also how it feels to live and do business there. What makes their story fascinating is the way they combined old-world business values with modern ambition, ensuring their developments weren't just buildings, but symbols of progress. Their influence extends beyond property. They help cement Kuala Lumpur's reputation as a hub for tourism and global business. The Yeoh family represents how vision and land can transform into lasting wealth. Yet the dynasties ahead built empires that stretch even further, weaving into infrastructure, politics, and global-scale investments. In the number 8 position, we have the Yeoh family, the powerhouse behind YTL Corporation, one of Malaysia's most dynamic conglomerates. Their story began in construction, building some of Kuala Lumpur's key infrastructure. But what truly sets them apart is how they expanded far beyond Malaysia's borders. From luxury resorts and utilities to property and telecommunications, the Yeoh family turned YTL into a global player with assets across Asia, Europe, and even Australia. Their legacy is about more than just buildings. It's about vision, innovation, and creating value where others saw limits. In Kuala Lumpur, their mark is everywhere, from modern infrastructure to high-end experiences that attract both locals and international visitors. The Yeoh family shows how old money can evolve into global influence while staying deeply rooted in local pride. But the dynasties ahead built fortunes so vast, their power extends into finance, politics, and industries that move nations. In the number 7 position, we have the Koon family, a dynasty whose rise came from the bustling world of trade and industry. Starting with humble beginnings in commerce, they seized opportunities in manufacturing and industrial ventures, laying the foundation for a fortune that still commands respect today. What makes their story captivating is the way they bridge the gap between old trading traditions and modern industrialization, never abandoning their roots, yet always adapting to the changing tides of Kuala Lumpur's economy. Their businesses fueled jobs, growth, and exports, embedding the Koon name into the city's financial fabric. Quiet but powerful, the family exemplifies the resilience that old money often requires, weathering crises and emerging stronger each time. Yet as impressive as their empire is, the dynasties ahead on our list would expand into property, media, banking, and global-scale wealth, redefining what it means to control power in Kuala Lumpur. In the number 6 position, we have the Chan family, a dynasty that turned Kuala Lumpur's real estate boom into a generational fortune. Their story is tied to the city's rapid urban growth, buying land, developing properties, and creating business ventures that became pillars of KL's commercial and residential landscape. What makes the Chans stand out is their ability to see potential where others saw empty plots, transforming neighborhoods into thriving business districts. Their empire doesn't stop at real estate. They diversified into business ventures that further cemented their influence across the city. The Chan family embodies how old money in Kuala Lumpur is often built on land, the one resource that only grows in value as the city expands. Yet while their fortune is vast, the families ahead on this list command empires so powerful, they shape not just Kuala Lumpur's skyline, but also Malaysia's economy and global reputation. In the number 5 position, we have the Tan family, the force behind the Berjaya Group, one of Malaysia's most diverse and recognizable conglomerates. Led by Vincent Tan, this dynasty transformed Kuala Lumpur's business landscape through bold investments that span property development, retail, gaming, media, and hospitality. The Berjaya brand is tied to shopping malls, luxury resorts, and even global franchises, making the Tan family's influence hard to miss. What makes their story so captivating is the scale of their ambition, constantly diversifying, constantly expanding, and always staying relevant in an ever-changing economy. From iconic buildings in KL to ventures reaching across continents, their empire reflects both Malaysia's growth and its global ambitions. The Tan family's success shows how daring vision and relentless drive can build a lasting legacy. But as impressive as Berjaya is, the dynasties ahead control fortunes rooted in finance and banking, shaping the flow of Malaysia's wealth. In the number 4 position, we have the Lee family, one of Kuala Lumpur's most influential dynasties, whose legacy is rooted in banking and diversified business ventures. Their wealth story is built on the backbone of Malaysia's financial system, with the family playing a key role in shaping banking services that supported the country's economic rise. Over the years, the Lees expanded beyond finance, investing in property, trading, and multiple industries that strengthened their empire. What makes their story fascinating is how they combine stability with growth, holding firm in conservative banking practices while seizing bold opportunities in other sectors. Their name carries weight not just in Kuala Lumpur, but across Malaysia, symbolizing both old money tradition and forward-looking strategy. The Lee family represents financial power that fuels development, yet the dynasties ahead control fortunes so massive, they reach deep into global banking and industry, reshaping Kuala Lumpur's economic destiny. In the number 3 position, we have the Teh family, the dynasty behind one of Malaysia's greatest financial success stories, Public Bank. Founded by the legendary Teh Hong Piao, this institution grew from a single branch into one of the largest and most trusted banks in Southeast Asia. The Teh family's wealth is rooted in vision, discipline, and a deep understanding of how banking could fuel Malaysia's growth. What makes their story remarkable is how Public Bank became a household name, serving millions of Malaysians while maintaining strong profitability and stability year after year. The Teh dynasty symbolizes how financial institutions can evolve into generational wealth, creating an empire that is as much about trust as it is about money. Yet as powerful as the Teh family is, the dynasties ahead control fortunes that extend into vast conglomerates, commanding influence not only in Kuala Lumpur, but across the global stage. In the number 2 position, we have the Quek family, the dynasty steering the powerful Leong Group. Founded by visionary entrepreneur Quek Ling Chan, the group grew into one of Malaysia's most influential conglomerates, with major interests in banking, property development, manufacturing, and investments that span across Asia. Their wealth story is one of relentless expansion, transforming from modest beginnings into a corporate giant with assets worth billions. In Kuala Lumpur, The Hong Leong name is tied to both towering office blocks and financial institutions that shape the nation's economy. What makes the Quek family stand out is their ability to balance traditional old money stability with bold global ventures, securing influence in industries that matter most. They represent modern old money, rooted in Malaysia but reaching far beyond. Yet even their immense fortune is surpassed by one legendary dynasty, a family whose empire transformed them into global icons of wealth. In the number one position, we have the Kuok family, the undisputed giants of Kuala Lumpur's old money dynasties. At the heart of their story is Robert Kuok, famously known as the Sugar King of Asia. His empire began with sugar trading, but quickly expanded into palm oil, shipping, hotels, and property, creating a fortune that towers above nearly all others in the region. The Kuok Group's reach stretches far beyond Malaysia, with luxury hotels like Shangri-La and major holdings across Asia cementing their status as a global powerhouse. What makes the Kuok family fascinating is not just their wealth, but their ability to stay influential across generations, quietly holding onto power while expanding strategically into new industries. They represent the pinnacle of Kuala Lumpur's old money, wealth built on vision, discipline, and global ambition. Their empire is proof that some dynasties don't just survive, they define the future of nations.